Good morning, guys. How are you? It is Thursday, April 16th. Today's video is going to be much shorter than those long ones I did yesterday. So hopefully you learned a little bit about the robber barons yesterday, reading or listening through the lecture that I actually did and then writing down your notes. If you have not turned that in, I need you to turn that in as soon as you possibly can so I can give you guys credit for that stuff. I know grades are looking a little different. We started putting them in fourth quarter, but then we were told to kind of back those out of fourth quarter. And I have not put anything really recently in the grade book, so your grades are probably pretty much the same as they have been. So I wanted to do real quick this day in history. Which in 1862, President Jefferson Davis, which was the president of the Confederacy, went and signed a bill asking all boys or men that were between 18 and 35 to actually serve at least 3 years in the military. So that was one of the things that actually happened, and that was one of the very first drafts, or that was the very first draft in U.S. history. In 1862, slavery is going to be abolished in the District of Columbia or Washington, D.C. 1900, the U.S. Postal Service is going to issue their very first stamp or stamp collection. And then sadly in 2007 was the shooting at Virginia Tech where 32 kids or students ended up losing their lives. Students and teachers ended up losing their lives there. So, sorry to end with that sad note, but the items that you're going to do today is, one, I'm going to have you watch a video, and that video just kind of ties together some of the robber barons. It's very brief. There's a really good series on the History channel talking about the men who built America. If you ever get a chance to see that, or if you can stream it, it's a really great series. It's all about the people who we are talking about with these robber barons. And then your activity today, and probably maybe even tomorrow, is going to be kind of a silly activity, and I call it a dinner party. And what actually happens when you see it, it will look like this. Okay, so the paper will look like this, and it says the Gilded Age robber barons and the people in the progressive movement, and it says click on the portrait for a link. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on one of these portraits. Mine's not live right now, so you can't do it, but you're going to click on each one of these people's portraits. You're going to learn a little bit about these people or who these barons were, and then I'm going to have you put them basically together in groups of two. And then there's another one that you can kind of group it in a different way, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to do it however you wish. But I want to know why you think that you would place these two people next to one another. So for example, on this one, it says guest 1 and guest 2, and then you can't see it, but it says they're seated next to each other because why would you put these two people together? What would link them? Or maybe you might want to change it up a little bit and kind of, think of a different way that you could actually put them together. So maybe they don't have anything in common, but maybe you might think that they have a way that they can develop a different business together. And then you would just kind of explain it. This is just kind of fun, silly activity, but it's interesting to see how you guys group these people together, because there's really not a right way to do it as long as you can come up with an excellent explanation of it. It's kind of like a DBQ, but with pictures. So you don't really have to do a whole lot of research. You just click on these guys. You have to read this. You click on that Gilded Age link. You read it a little bit, and then after you click on their picture and you read it, you just kind of start putting people together. You might want to just do this on a separate piece of paper first, just so that you can kind of have an idea of where you're going to place people, and then go ahead and you would just take and drag these people's pictures in. Again, mine's not live, so I can't do it, but I would just take people's pictures and drag them together, and then I would I would say where you would or why you would seat these people next to one another. So again, it's just kind of an interesting way to kind of tie it all together with these robber barons. I was going to have you guys do a project, but I don't think I'm going to have you guys do that project. So I thought this might be kind of an easy way to kind of end the whole robber baron thing. I wish we had more time with this. We do. The robber barons are these guys that built America, or these men and women who actually built America. really played a major role in the history of the United States. So it is a very interesting time period. I wish we could spend a little bit more time in class with it, but obviously with this virtual learning, it's a little difficult. So go ahead, take a look at this. Just work on it a little bit today. I'm not going to actually have it have it due today. I'm going to probably have it due on on Friday afternoon. So you have a couple, you have Thursday and Friday to work on it. So I'm trying to give you some time, trying to give you a little bit of, time to relax and just kind of ease ourselves back into this school setting. So again, hope you guys had a great day. Hopefully you have kind of an interesting way to kind of match these people together. It's always kind of fun to see how that happens. And I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Stay safe and see you on Friday.